when it comes to Hedera, I have some wonderful news. Take a look at this right here. KPMG in India collaborates with the Hashgraph Group to drive enterprise blockchain adoption, leveraging Hedera's DLT technology. Now, why is this massive? If we take a look at KPMG globally, that's one of the big four accounting firms. That's absolutely massive. So the fact that this right here is happening, I think, man, it's a big thumbs up. However, let's take a look at the details. We take a look at, again, this is according to PR Newswire. However, besides that, they do state how KPMG in India, a leading professional services firm, and the Hashgraph Group, a Swiss-based international business, venture capital, and technology company operating exclusively within the Hedera ecosystem, today announced a strategic alliance. Now, keep in mind, this is as per January 28th. However, besides that, this is aimed at accelerating the impact and enterprise adoption of blockchain and distributed ledger technologies across industry sectors, leveraging Hedera's platform capabilities and its enterprise-grade DLT network, again, distributed ledger technology. So when you take a look at this is very amazing. Now, let's take a look at a little bit further in the article. We'll see that the alliance is expected to see KPMG in India and the Hashgraph Group collaborating to enable and advance blockchain adoption, thereby aiming to deliver transformative benefits to enterprise clients globally and across various sectors. The strategic alliance is expected to aim to offer co-branded and joint go-to-market solutions. So basically, overall, my analysis is that this is just very awesome. Now, people aren't necessarily going to care about the small details, but I do want to mention it anyways. However, even besides that, this is a big step forward when it comes to Hedera. And what I really like about Hedera is that there's always good news about it, feels like. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that there's good news when it comes to it every single day, but when compared to other projects out there, the news has been very consistent. They're making moves, and I do really like this. Now, people like to say that, okay, the ecosystem isn't the best, adoption isn't the greatest. Well, yeah, of course, when you compare to like an Ethereum, of course, it's not going to be anywhere close to that great, but I think it's heading up there. And when we see projects like, for instance, Saucer Swap, a very fantastic decentralized exchange that did launch allegedly as the first decentralized exchange on Hedera, which I'm very bullish on, I think that combined with the growing ecosystem and the amazing partnerships that we're seeing, especially when it comes to the Hashgraph Association, man, I do really like this whole thing. Now, people like to say that, okay, this is a project that has already peaked. I disagree with that because if we take a look at HBAR, not only has it done very well, much like I predicted, I still think better days are ahead because $3, that's my price target. People like to think that this is crazy, but keep in mind, as of right now, $3, because HBAR is pumped by so much, it's actually around a 9.5x from here. So it's not even a 10x. Now, people may think, okay, that's kind of bad, but when you consider just how much HBAR is pumped, this isn't actually that bad at all. If let's say it does an additional around a little bit over 9x from here. Now, keep in mind, when people like to say that, okay, Hedera, this is not a good thing whatsoever. Well, I think it actually has much better potential to become adopted in the future as opposed to traditional layer 1 blockchains. And the reason why is because if you take a look at Hedera Hashgraph, it is a directed acyclic graph, aka a DAG for short, the acronym. Now, why is this a lot better? It's because while we see many blockchains out there, they struggle to solve the blockchain trilemma. They're often, either lacking one of the three aspects. To be able to solve the blockchain trilemma, something needs to be scalable, secure, and decentralized at the same time. And sometimes when we take a look at Ethereum, for instance, it can't solve the blockchain trilemma on its own because not only are the gas fees sky high, which is more of a personal complaint, but when we take a look at more so again, when it comes to the blockchain trilemma, it is arguably not even scalable. It has to rely on these Ethereum layer 2s. So again, when you take a look at Hedera Hashgraph, if I'm just taking a look at this from a logical approach, if I'm an enterprise, what would I want to adopt for me, at least personally? I would much rather choose Hedera over Ethereum because even though when it comes to a directed acyclic graph, it's a little bit more new, a little bit more radical. However, the way you take a look at it is that it just provides a lot more benefits because typically a DAG is usually a lot faster, a lot more scalable, also has improved data storage. So the way you take a look at it is that it just has much better benefits. Now, of course, some enterprises out there, as of right now, they may think, okay, it's a little bit too radical. We don't really want that. And I can understand that because, of course, it is very, revolutionary. And sometimes people don't want to move on that fast because sometimes they're really fixated on traditional blockchain technology. But in my opinion, soon enough, this is going to be a big narrative. And people care about that type of stuff. They don't really care about whether or not the adoption is the best currently, because let's face it, even despite having all this good news, Hedera at its core doesn't have like mass scale adoption at all. And in the next 6 months to a year, it's not going to see it, but it doesn't really matter because people care about the narrative. And when people understand just how special a DAG is, I think they understand that, wow, this could be something special here. And we're seeing that as of right now. Take a look at, again, the price of HBAR. Now, not to mention, you take a look at the governing council when it comes to Hedera, includes the likes of Google, LG. You take a look at Mondelez. Mondelez, by the way, their brands includes Oreo and as well as Cliff. Like the Cliff Bar. So this is all very massive. Also, you take a look at Boeing is even part of it. And Dell Technologies. I mean, there's 39 members currently. And you got to consider, these are real deal members. They're not just random enterprises or companies that no one's ever heard of. This is very massive right here. Again, when you have Google, when you have like Dell Technologies, Mondelez, that says something as to the amazing fundamentals that Hedera has. And again, I think this right here really does give Hedera a lot of good perceived leadership. A lot of people think that Ripple has a good leader. And when they take a look at Hedera, I mean, come on. This right here is pretty much the complete package, in my opinion. And when people say that $3 is impossible, again, I disagree. Considering current circulating supply at that point, market cap would be around $115 billion. The way I view it is that if something like BNB can reach over $100 billion in market cap, at least back in 2021, why can't it do this, this time around? I think this bull run that we could very well see, at least the upcoming peak of it, hypothetically, I think could be a lot more impressive than what we saw a couple of years ago back in 2021, because at that time, far less institutional investors, far less enterprise adoption. People nowadays are more knowledgeable. Take a look at also the Bitcoin ETF, right? That's massive. Not to mention, back then, during the peak of that bull run that year, there was roughly only around 300 million crypto owners. Now, there's over 600 million according to Crypto.com research. This is going to be massive. Yes, I get it. There's projects out there. They're like meme coins, focus on blockchain gaming, and they're going to have their place. But I think there's also going to be room for amazing projects that have good perceived adoption in the future, much like Hedera. And I think that after this bull run is over, Hedera is really going to be considered as one of those top giants, much like a Solana, much like an Ethereum, like a BNB, because take a look at how before the 2021 peak of the bull run happened, right? People didn't really consider Solana or BNB as one of the top players, but now they do. Take a look at, for instance, Hedera. I think it could very well be the next quote unquote Solana or like the next BNB, and I really can't wait. That's why I really do believe in it. And again, some people may think that, okay, the hypothetical upside at this point is so bad. Well, again, if someone missed out on the ride, it is what it is. But personally for me, even though I didn't miss out on the run when it comes to HBAR as of late, I'm still going to be acquiring, because even if, let's say, HBAR goes to the price of $2, I'm still going to be buying, because the way I view it is that what's that cash going to do anyways? Just sit in my bank account? It's not doing anything really. So why not put it to work? At least personally, that's the way I view it. And again, HBAR at the price of $3 during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. News like this really does get me excited. And it showcases, in my opinion, as to just how fantastic Hedera is as a project. I think this is very wonderful news, and I think it's a sign for big things to come moving forward. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's only the captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm a peace. Bye.